Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The NBA is really surprising, and there are many comments linking the Warriors to Jimmy Butler. Of course he's a solid star, but the Warriors would need to give up young, talented players to bring in a 35-year-old veteran. The Warriors need a great center. Rumors: Warriors want to sign NIKOLA VUCEVIC and send Dennis Schröder in return. Golden State Warriors fans are clamoring for the team to make a move. After getting off to a wonderful start at 12-3, Golden State is just 5-13 since. Yes, they traded for Dennis Schröder, but Schröder has struggled with his new team. Could NIKOLA VUCEVIC be an option? According to Anthony Slater, Marcus Thompson III, and Sam Amick of The Athletic, he is an option that the Warriors are considering. Two-time All-Star center could be in the mix for Warriors. Currently having best shooting season of his career. Now 34 years old, VUCEVIC is in his 14th NBA season. The 6'10" center is in the midst of the best shooting season of his career. In his 33 outings with the Chicago Bulls, VUCEVIC has career-best shooting marks from both the field, 55.9%, and three-point range, 44%. His 20.3 points per game are his most since the 2020-21 season. It's a stark difference from 2023-24, where the two-time All-Star was unable to find his outside shot. VUCEVIC knocked down just 29.4% of his attempts from beyond the arc. Once again, Chicago is firmly in NBA purgatory, nowhere near good enough to be a contender, but not bad enough to be amongst the teams with the most ping-pong balls come draft lottery time. Currently they are 15-19, 10th in the Eastern Conference. They finished 9th in the East last season, and 10th in 2022-23. Many speculate that the Bulls want to deal veterans, and instead play their youth. This is due to their first-round pick being owed to the San Antonio Spurs if it lands outside the top 10. VUCEVIC, of course, is one of those veterans that has been rumored to potentially be traded. The Athletic wrote on how the Warriors have had discussions about acquiring VUCEVIC. The article states, NIKOLA VUCEVIC has actually emerged as the more discussed Warriors trade target, according to team and league sources. The front office and coaching staff have acknowledged back to training camp this team's need for a true stretch center, something Curry has never really had. VUCEVIC is making 44% of his nearly 5 threes per game this season and averaging 20.3 points per game. In theory, he'd get protected on defense by Green, while opening up offensive space for Curry, Wiggins, and Kuminga. It is true that Stephen Curry hasn't had that stretch center in his career. While centers such as Andrew Bogut, JaVale McGee, Kevin Looney, and Tracy Jackson-Davis have been valuable for the team, none are extending their offensive game to past the three-point line. While VUCEVIC has been one of the better offensive centers for some time, he's never been confused as being much of a defensive presence. With Draymond Green on the roster, Golden State can put VUCEVIC on someone who isn't much of an offensive threat. He has always been a strong rebounder as well and is averaging 10.1 this season. The Warriors have had their difficulties on the offensive end though. They rank 18th in offensive rating, 24th in field goal percentage, and dead last in free throw percentage. Those are numbers that can be improved upon with VUCEVIC in the fold. There are 33 days remaining until the trade deadline. While VUCEVIC isn't the sexiest name, he can definitely provide help on the offensive end for the Warriors. He has 1 year left on his contract after this season at $21.48 million. Flipping Dennis Schröder would be wise for Warriors. The Golden State Warriors just got their best game from Dennis Schröder since trading for him, with the career journeyman recording 15 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals on 5-9 shooting from the field, 3-4 from 3. However, if that's what they were looking for when they made the move, then it's unlikely he'll genuinely be happy. Much like the Warriors' decision to acquire Chris Paul last season, the trade never made much sense. Their overall talent levels aside, neither Schröder nor Paul were a smooth fit alongside Stephen Curry in the backcourt. Over the years, Curry has grown accustomed to a hybrid role. Though nominally a point guard, the two-time MVP is running around screens so often, he's more of an off guard. This is one reason why players like Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala, and Brandon Podziemski are so important. They can be de facto lead guards, even when Curry is on the court. With Schröder, the Warriors theoretically would have had at least 3 playmakers in the starting lineup, which would help their players get easier shots. Flipping Dennis Schröder for star would be wise for Warriors. Schröder is at least starting. However, it doesn't sound like he's all too enthused about the role he has to play. Though they initially made it seem like they want him to play his game, they just want to run the system they're comfortable with. Perhaps just with a slight wrinkle. This is a problem that's plagued their team in general this season though. Despite Warriors head coach Steve Kerr lamenting the team's inability to score consistently outside of Curry, he struggles to find comfort with running offenses that don't revolve around the 36-year-old. The primary victim of Kerr's lack of adaptability has been young forward Jonathan Kuminga. However, Schröder is falling into that same category. After averaging 18.4 points and 6.6 assists per game with the Brooklyn Nets, his numbers have almost been halved in Golden State. In 8 contests, he's averaged 9.9 points and 4.1 assists per game. To make matters worse, he went from shooting 38.7% from 3 with the Nets to 26.3% with the Warriors. Though he could always right the ship, this is just more evidence that he still feels out of place in Golden State. Making a jumper isn't just about skill and technique but comfort and confidence. As it's unlikely the Monstars stole his powers on the flight to California, that leaves only one explanation. Is Josh Green available? Ultimately, what the Warriors want isn't someone with Schröder's skill set. They want a perimeter player who is more of a catch-and-shoot guy but can operate as a facilitator on ball. For that reason, it would be best to flip Schröder for Charlotte Hornets guard Josh Green. Truthfully, the 2020 number 18 pick isn't the sexiest option on the market. Nonetheless, under-the-radar moves can turn out as well as the splash ones, or better. To that point, Green is shooting 42.1% from 3 this season with a 56.3% three-point rate. Furthermore, while he's not as adept as Schröder as a facilitator, he's a more than capable playmaker. Lastly, though Schröder has been a pest defensively, Green can be absolutely suffocating. Warriors facing worst three-point struggles since Kevin Durant's exit. Widely regarded as the NBA's three-point connoisseur team for a long time, the Golden State Warriors seem to be losing their touch from beyond the arc. While Stephen Curry continues to dominate in that department, his teammates haven't matched his productivity. Warriors facing worst three-point struggle since Kevin Durant's exit. Curry's three-point prowess. Currently, shooting 41.8% from 3, Curry's long-range prowess isn't enough to improve Golden State's overall 3P%. In the 33 games played so far, the Dubs have made only 36.5% of their three-point attempts, ranking them 15th in the league. Not including their 36.43 3P% in 2021-22, this marks their lowest 3P% ranking since the 2019-20 season when the Warriors shot 33.4% from long range, placing them 29th in the NBA. Ironically, this was the same season that Kevin Durant decided to part ways with Golden State and join the Brooklyn Nets. Dub Nation's poorest three-point show since the 2019-20 season. The Warriors found themselves in deep waters after a finals loss to the Raptors in 2019. Durant's decision not to re-sign, coupled with season-ending injuries to the Splash Brothers, had the Dubs finish at the bottom of the Western Conference. At the time, G-League point guard Jeremy Pargo had the best 3P% on the Warriors at 42.9%. Leading Steve Kerr's roster in three-pointers made was D'Angelo Russell, sinking 3.6 shots per game. This was a period when Klay Thompson was out with an ACL tear, and Curry had sustained a fractured hand. Fortunately, the Dubs witnessed an upward curve in the coming years. Between 2021 and 2024, Golden State fluctuated within the 2nd and 9th positions in 3P%. Potential reasons behind Warriors diminishing 3P%. Losing one of their marquee players in Thompson to the Mavericks indicated the end of an era in the Bay Area. Dub Nation continues to fathom seeing Curry splash bro in a Dallas uniform. Another reason is the sudden shutdown of Buddy Hield, which serves as a major determinant. In his first 15 games with the Warriors, Hield averaged 16.2 ppg on 44.2% from three-point range. Nonetheless, the 2023 point contest champion would go completely cold from beyond the arc in the coming days. Nevertheless, Dub Nation hopes the 32-year-old will find his rhythm back. Entering his sophomore season, Brandon Podziemski has failed to meet expectations, especially from beyond the arc, shooting the ball at close to 39% accuracy in his rookie year. The 6'5" guard has dropped to 29.5%. Other factors for the Warriors' three-point woes include the departures of shooters like Dante DiVincenzo and Jordan Poole. The Warriors can change their three-point tide with just over half of the season remaining. It is only a matter of time before Hield makes a comeback. This, in turn, would prohibit the opposition from throwing double/triple teams at Curry, allowing him more spacing. The recent acquisition of Dennis Schröder would allow Podziemski to play to his strengths. Also, looking at how the front office has been actively pursuing a trade, expect anything in the coming days. No matter what, you can never write off the Warriors, considering the championship DNA on the roster.